When we were kids, one of the fondest memories I had was sitting down at the dinner table with a little bowl of strawberries. I used to love strawberries. However, over the last sort of 10 to 15 years, they're really not on my radar. I wouldn't even think to pick them up these days. And I think the simple reason for that is they're never in season. When we traditionally buy them from supermarkets, they're shipped in from all over the world, and they're just not that juicy, vibrant strawberry flavour we remember as kids. But then this time, every year, all that changes because our local farm shop, less than half a mile away from here, is amazing at growing strawberries. And then when you taste their own strawberry jam, it is just to die for. So much better than you get in any supermarket. Now, the whole point to that story is I kind of think most of you are in the same boat. Most of you used to love strawberries, but in this day and age, we don't really get proper ripe ones unless we go to a farm shop or pick your own. But what if you could guarantee that taste all year round, especially when it comes to your cocktails? Now, step forward this little bad boy. I actually haven't played about too much with the Monin purees or the fruity mixes, whatever you want to call them. 50% strawberry, 50% sugar. But I got one out to play in a live stream last week, and I have to say the flavour was amazing. It took me back to those memories I had as a kid. If I hold that up in front of the close-up, or leave it there, hopefully you'll focus on, you'll just see how thick and juicy, and it's even got little bits of strawberry in it. Now, if you know me, if you've got used to watching me, you'll know that I do love the Monin syrups and other brands, ODK, William Fox, you know I love their syrups. But there's just something amazing about using a puree, a fruity mix like this in your cocktails. Now, the shelf life on this will be 18 months to 2 years, and then you've traditionally got about 4 weeks after opening before you have to use it, and it will sit on your shelf as well, no need to refrigerate. So in this video, I'm going to knock up some simple highballs, some simple strawberry highballs that you can make for yourselves at home, or if you're in a pub or bar, and you can recreate those fun memories you had as a kid. But this time, we're adding a bit of booze. Now, for your first cocktail, this is a very loose riff on a strawberry and elderflower Collins. The ingredients I'm going to use, I've just got a gin. I've got lots of Brockmans at home, so I've just bought Brockmans in. But any gin, Beefeater, supermarket own brand gin, that'll be great. Something really juniper forward. I've got some elderflower liqueur. Again, swap that out for like a bottle of green elderflower liqueur. That'll work amazingly well. And in fact, this is what I've got here actually from a previous £25 haul video. I've got the strawberry puree. I've then got a lemon, and I've got some Aldi's Mediterranean tonic water. I love using Mediterranean tonic water instead of soda water in Collins. It just adds a whole different dimension. So shaken cocktail, the first ingredient I'm going to go for is this strawberry puree. I'm going to do 25 ml, and obviously this has got a bit of sugar in it as well, so no need to add any extra sugar. Now I'm going to wash the rest of the jigger out. I'm going to do 50 ml of gin, and Brockmans is a great gin. I just wouldn't necessarily use it in cocktails because it is a bit more expensive. But as I say, I've got loads of it at home. So 50 ml double bubble of the gin, and then we're going 15 ml half an ounce of the elderflower liqueur. And as I said, if you are using elderflower cordial, it will add a little bit more sweetness. This won't be as sweet because it is alcohol at the end of the day. You could use Saint-Germain, you could use a gin liqueur, an elderflower gin liqueur. You could actually use an elderflower gin. And then to that, I'm going to add the juice of probably about half a lemon. All right, so just chop a lemon in half, squeeze all that in. So the last ingredient is your Mediterranean tonic water. We don't shake that because it's fizzy, so plenty of ice in your cocktail shaker. And then we're just going to give it a good hard fast shake, 10 to 12 seconds. Now, if you look at that in the close-up, you will see lots of sort of strawberry bits in there. So I'm going to wash or rinse the rest of that shaker out. I'm going to use about half a can, so it'll be about 75 ml of the Mediterranean tonic water. Just pop that in there. That's about half a can. Perfect. Rinse that out, swill it around, and then get all the rest of the strawberry out and pop it in your cocktail. Then we're just going to add some fresh ice to a highball, and then I'm just going to very simply single strain. Now, if you don't want any little bits in your cocktail, simply double strain it through a fine strainer. But there we go, garnish, if you've got some, garnish with a little strawberry. And that is just a stunning, simple, it's effectively a strawberry gin and tonic with a little bit of citrus going through it. Bit of elderflower. It's lovely, but you get those delicious, juicy strawberry notes, and I really do like that. Now, for cocktail number 2, I'm going to do a simple riff on strawberry and black pepper smash. Strawberry and black pepper is a match made in heaven. It really does go well together. In the same way that kind of sugar brings out the sweetness, we've already got a bit of sweetness in that, obviously. The black pepper is just going to give it a kind of little sort of peppery bite, which is amazing. We're going to marry that with some fresh mint. And then I've just got some vodka. This is just an Aldi vodka that I had for a £25 haul video. Now this one is really simple. We don't even need to shake it. We're going to use a julep cup. That's what this is. You could use a tumbler, a rocks glass, a highball, whatever you fancy. You just add it all to the glass and churn it up. It's as simple as that. So to start off with, we're going for 25ml of strawberry puree. So let's pop that in there. To that, I'm then just going to add some vodka. This would work with rum as well, but traditionally, you know, vodka, just kind of, you want to emphasize the sort of peppery strawberry and a bit of mint. That's really where we're going with this. But we're going to do a 50ml double bubble of vodka. We're then going to add a bit of black pepper. I've got a little, I'll just do it in palm of my hand just to make sure. But essentially, I don't know, hopefully you can see that. Essentially, we're just going for like a little pinch of black pepper. And then mint-wise, I'm going to save a couple of decent bits for a garnish. But we want about 8 to 10 mint leaves, depending on the size of your mint. So just pick your mint off. We do our normal trick. You guys should know what's coming here. We never muddle mint, do we? So about 8 to 10 mint leaves, palm your hand, give it a spank, that'll awake the aromas, and then we just pop that in the glass. Now you could lengthen that out with a little bit of soda water if you wanted to, just bearing in mind you're going to dilute those flavours. So I've just got a little bit of crushed ice to start us off with. I'm then just going to take a long bar spoon, give it a decent churn. If you've got a swizzle stick, that'll do even better, because we can kind of do that between the palm of our hands then, and just give the cocktail a good swizzle, give it a good churn to combine all those ingredients. Now I've just topped that up with a bit more crushed ice, give it another little swizzle. Obviously the point to note as well, I did say you could add a bit of soda water or lemonade or something like that if you fancy, but don't forget the crushed ice is going to add a little bit of dilution as well. And then to finish it off, couple of decent mint sprigs, back of your hand again to awake the aromas, and then just pop them in there. You could go for a strawberry as well, but there we've got a strawberry and black pepper smash. And honestly, I know that is so simple, but that is proper delicious. It's just those pepper notes that kind of combine with the strawberry. You get the alcoholic kick, but there's no other alcohol flavours detracting from the strawberry. It's just a boozy, strawberry, minty drink. It is absolutely delicious. Now for the third cocktail, I'm going to go in a slightly different direction for this one because I want to create something a little bit bitter. The Americano is essentially just a Campari, red vermouth, Rosso Vermouth and soda water drink. It's kind of like, think of it as like a sort of more bitter Aperol Spritz in that sort of sense, but it is still a very popular cocktail. So what I'm going to do for that, I've got the rest of it. Now you could make this with soda water, but I've just got the rest of the can of the Mediterranean Tonic. And as I say, I do love using that as a soda water replacement in cocktails. It's delicious. So I've got my Campari. I've got just a Rosso Vermouth. It's just the one I have. Martini Rosso will work equally as well with this. But this whole thing going around at the moment, there's a trend. It's been out there a few months, infusing strawberries into Campari to give a strawberry sort of Campari or a fruitier edge to Campari. So for this, I'm going to add the strawberry puree instead. Now again, I'm just going to build this in a glass. You could shake it up, but effectively you're only really shaking those 3 ingredients up. So a good sort of stir and churn, and this will do the job. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to do 25ml of the Monin Strawberry Puree. So those luscious sort of strawberry notes, 25ml. And then because these ingredients are not actually that strong, this is kind of lovely sort of long highball, I'm going to do 2 lots of double bubbles. So I'm going to do a 50ml double bubble of Campari. And don't forget, as I say, it will be a little bit bitter, but the fruitiness will really come through. And then to that, I'm just going to add 50ml of Rosso Vermouth. As I say, Martini Rosso, Lestau, anything like that. This will all work exceptionally well. So 50ml double bubble of Rosso Vermouth. Now I'm just going to add a couple of cubes of ice just to start us off with. And then I'm going to top up with my Mediterranean tonic water. Now, as I say, I've already used half the can, so I know there's about 75ml left in there. So that's going to be perfect for this. Now, give the cocktail a decent stir. You'll find that the strawberry's already really combined with the ingredients, so just a decent stir. Now, I'm just going to top it up with a tiny bit more ice. And then to garnish, I've got some here. I've got another sprig, or a couple of sprigs of mint there. And then what we do with Americanos and sort of Campari drinks is the whole orange thing as well. But you could garnish that with the strawberry if you fancied. And I have to say, that is amazing. That will satisfy the less sweet tooth amongst you. Campari, if you're not a huge fan of Campari, swap it out for something like Aperol. But I promise you, the sweetness of the strawberry kind of really dials back the bitterness of the Campari. And you've got a bit of Rosso Vermouth there. It's essentially spiced up red wine. That's what it really is, or aromatized red wine. Delicious, really like that. So there we go, boys and girls. Let me know which one of those is your favourite. I have to say, all three of those are delicious in completely different ways. If you want more strawberry cocktails, dive into that one right there.